What's up, guys? It's the Bad Wolf. All right, back with more videos. All right, so once again, thank you to all the people who have subscribed and have been emailing me with the questions and donations and all the information. You guys are awesome. Thank you ever so much, truly. All right, so the other question and I apologize. I really thought you have to understand, I've been doing this a long time, for years. I'm just now starting to put a lot of this information online, just because so many of my friends are like, dude, you're a big nerd, put that stuff out there so you can help other people, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I've been kind of getting all this. I sometimes forget that, like, some of these little steps and things some people have not done. I thought I was pretty good with some of the other stuff, but I'm going to try to be a little bit more thorough. So, anyway, I had kind of a simple question. At least I thought it was simple. They asked about how to um, get rid of your driver's license. Okay, and I know I've said this a couple times in the different things. Getting rid of your driver's license. Now, keeping in mind that when you get to a certain age, you kind of age out, and they take your driver's license from you anyway. Um, you you can close your own driver's license. There's many ways to do this. You can either age out, which I don't recommend, but it will probably happen to all of us technically at one point in time. You can lose it obviously through, drinking and driving, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. The standard way is to do it without going through any of that stuff. In our state, you can just go to your state's primary website. Okay. Everyone has, like ours is like Wisconsin, I think, .gov or something like that. Once you go there, you can apply for a state ID. Now, you might have to call your state and ask them about how to get a state ID and ask them specifically, if I get a state ID, will this negate my driver's license? Okay, so please pay attention to this first. Okay, if they say yes and you apply for that state ID, you will lose your license. Okay, this is not a game. All right, so when you're doing these things, be sure this is what you want to do. Not that you can't reapply, but you're going to have to reapply. All right, I don't know if they would just reinstate you. I have not done that. I'm not going to do that. I'm saying this is for those people who are unsure. Be sure, sit down with yourself, make sure this is what you want to do. If you have a busy life and whatever else, and you're going to be driving around a lot, and you want to become, a state citizen and become a traveler like myself and like other people. This does not mean that cops won't bother you, but what I'm saying is that when you become a state citizen or national, you're not in their jurisdiction. That doesn't mean they won't bother you. It means that they don't have the jurisdiction to officially bother you, but they can still try to write you a ticket. They still have a gun. They're still, a cop. They can either be a good one or a bad one. Okay, this is a lifestyle change. Okay, so that being said, in our state, that's how we do it. In other states, you might have to contact your DMV and ask them what their options are. If you do that, make sure you get a receipt of the transaction to prove that you've, closed that out. Okay. Otherwise, without that, you don't have proof. And say a cop pulls you over and they're like, "Hey, you're driving or operating without a license," and you're like, "Well, it should be in there." You never know what the system might say. It should show on there that it's closed and not revoked, but have your kit. This is one of the biggest things. In my car, I have a booklet of all this information so that if they want to go through it, they can go through that particular book, okay, and see, here's my receipt showing you that I closed it out. So if you can, get it. If it's a receipt online, some of them have a form you have to mail in, okay, and say on there, right on there, I want a receipt of this transaction, or a receipt is required for this transaction, get something in writing. They might have it, you have to mail a letter in, or it might, like I said, it might just be you contact them and say, yes, I want to close it online. Screen capture that information, document. Okay. So, let me see what else here. Yep, keep that all in the binder. Keep a copy of it in the car. Keep a copy of it on your computer. Keep a copy of it, inside your house. Copy, all this stuff. just because you might lose it or whatever else. Because you have to remember, these people are under the distinct, we'll call it a religion or faith, belief factor, whatever, that they are right. A lot of these cops and people don't know about a lot of this stuff. Okay. So we have to, you're not here really to educate them. Let the cop give you the ticket. Don't try to fight anything or argue anything. Don't get all jazzy with them. If they ask you about something, you hand them your binder with your passport information on there. You hand them your passport. You hand them your information that you have closed out your driver's license, your receipt. Show them all that stuff. If they start hassling you, remember you do have a right to remain silent at any point in time. Ask them for their supervisor. As in everything, whether it's with cops or corporate or business, or whatever else, you've got the peons on the bottom. You've got the middle people who kind of have an idea of what's going on, and you've got the top people who know exactly what's going on, who don't really tell all these people. So if you're dealing with somebody on this level, okay, ask for their manager. Sir, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I have the right to request your manager, and I'm going to plead the fifth and remain silent at this point in time. Thank you. Please do your job. I respect you guys. I just need this matter cleared up by a sergeant or your CO. And what is your badge number? Okay. All right. Thank you. And you wait. Okay. So that's basically how you deal with your driver's license. Your plate, you're going to take that right to the DMV. Once again, you're going to want to get your receipt. Get that, because later on, if you watch my other video on creating your own private plate, you're going to have a new plate on there, okay? And they drive up behind you and they see that. They don't really necessarily have a right to pull you over. Some of them can be overzealous and do it like, oh, well, where is Ladonia? Or, why does it say private? Or whatever, however you design your plate, okay? There's no one set way. If you Google, traveler's plate, most of them will have to say private on there. I showed you guys a depiction of what mine is. They might just pull you over out of curiosity, so don't freak out. Just, have your information. Yes, I'm a citizen of Ladonia. This is a private plate. Like in the state of Wisconsin, as a non-resident, even though I live here, don't call yourself a resident, okay? They don't need to know exactly where you live. You hand them your passport, and if they really want to ask, why do you need to know that information? Just say, yes, I happen to stay at a place from here or there, but don't allow them to pull you into their jurisdiction. So with your plate, getting back to that, you're going to basically just take off your plates, go into the DMV, ask for a receipt. If they don't have a receipt, then take a picture of you right then and there with your plates at the DMV, dropping it off, or get a video of it. Ask them for some kind of written proof that you dropped this off. Just say, yeah, I'm dropping this off. I did pay for these plates. I want proof that I'm turning them in. Get something, okay? Don't just put them up there and walk away. If they force you to say, hey, no, we can't do anything or whatever else, that's fine. You can even write up a slip that says, I'm turning in my plates, and maybe ask like for a manager to initial them or sign off on that. The person behind the counter, they may not do it for liability reasons, just to protect themselves. I don't know. With mine, they really didn't want to do anything, so I just kind of got a picture of it. Do you really need to do that? No, it's more so for you, and it's just something to put in your binder for your, kind of well-being, I guess. It's not anything that's really going to come in the matter that they're going to be like, okay, these plates are not the ones registered to this car. Because if you've done everything correctly, you should have pulled everything out from their system. And they are private plates. And as a traveler, you do have that right. Okay. And, but if you haven't turned in your plates, and let's say they're like, well, You know, do you have any proof that you've turned in your plates in order for, because our system shows that you had these plates, your old plates on there, and now these are new plates, they're not registered, you know. You can say, well, you know, I turned in those old plates, these are my new private plates. As a, you know, traveler, here's my passport, everything should check out, that, you know, I'm not underneath the you know, as I'm not a U.S. citizen, so I'm not underneath that jurisdiction. I'm not contracted with the DMV, and just you know, you really shouldn't even have to say all that, but if they do, that's what you would say, and you're going to hand them your passport, let them run that, and they'll come back, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to say, you know, thank you, have a good day. And if they don't, ask for a supervisor, give him that information. Okay, if they, at the end of the day, it's not illegal, they would give you a ticket. If you get a ticket, then you write UCC 1-308 over the top of it, sign it, and then return your copy of it to them with UCC 1-308 on there. I also have a letter that you can send back with that ticket. You don't have to send it, but basically it just says, you know, whoever's receiving this ticket, basically that, you know, I'm not a U.S. citizen, you know, I'm driving in my personal conveyance, and it's about, I think it's either one page or 4 pages. I'm sorry, I forgot. Anyway, it says all that stuff on there that backs up the fact that, hey, look, you know, I'm not paying this ticket, and to basically handle the situation, close it out, because I'm not underneath your jurisdiction, and this is not against the law. I'm a traveler, not underneath your jurisdiction. All right. So everything should be then updated internally on their end. If your car is, if your car is clear and free, you can also, I guess I kind of should have put this in the other video with selling the vehicle to yourself. But basically, this is, if you have done all of this, you can also sell. You don't have to be a part of another country to kind of protect your asset. You can actually also form a trust, go online and form a trust, which provides a high level of protection for you and your assets, and mark yourself down as an authorized agent of your trust. So after you form that trust, transfer your vehicle into that trust, okay? And then it becomes outside of their jurisdiction. And if you form a trust through another country, then not only is it outside their jurisdiction, but it's foreign, it becomes foreign property to them, okay? So they really can't do anything with it, move it, touch it, unless it's in the middle of traffic or something else. They can't even really legally tow it. And if they do anything like that, you can sue them, because they're not supposed to touch foreign property and you're outside their jurisdiction. So unless it's been in an accident, or it's you know, in the middle of traffic and you have no way to move it with, you know, ample time, then you can go after them. And of course, with everything, get copies. So that's pretty much about it, guys. So thank you for hitting that bell, like, and subscribe on the way out. Thank you guys for all the subscribing and the emails and the questions and the donations. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Got a couple more videos coming up, so stay tuned. Talk to you guys later. Bad Wolf over and out.